Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your girl Amanda. Today's video is going to be books that I'm planning on rereading. I don't know if it's going to be this year because there's quite a lot of books on this list. But these are books that I'm hoping to get around to rereading in the near future. Hopefully this year, like I said, but I don't think I'll be able to get to all of these because most of them are series. There's only two that are like standalone books, but yeah, like I said, most of them are series. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. So the lighting is kind of bright right now. I'm using natural lighting, so don't mind that. But anyways, I'm going to start with the standalone books first, just because I figure those will be the easiest to talk about. The first one is Good as Gone by Amy Gentry. It starts with a G. I don't know how you pronounce it. But basically, this woman's daughter, Julie, gets kidnapped when she's young. She's like 13, I think, when she gets kidnapped. And all of a sudden, years later, this woman appears at the front door claiming to be the daughter Julie. And so you're following two different timelines, one of the actual daughter Julie leading up to when she gets kidnapped and a little after that. And then you're also following the current timeline of like this woman showing up at the front door claiming to be Julie. And so you don't know the whole time whether this woman is who she says she is. And then you're also trying to figure out like what actually happened to the daughter when she got kidnapped all those years ago. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. It was a fun read from what I remember. And although it is like a mystery and I already know what happens, it's been long enough to where I'm like fuzzy on the details. So yeah, I'm excited to read this one again. Next, the two books I have kind of go hand in hand. They're in the same like universe. I have Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda and The Upside of Unrequited, both by Becky Albertalli. So these are both in the, I forget what it's called, but in like the Simon universe, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but these are both following like the same group of characters, and you just get like a different look into individual characters in this group of friends. So first off, let's go into Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. If you haven't been on BookTube for long, then you wouldn't know that this has actually been made into a movie called Love, Simon. So basically it's about this boy named Simon who is a closeted gay at his school, and he's like messaging this boy named Blue who he like finds out goes to the same school as him or something like that. So he's trying to figure out who he is this whole time, all while still being closeted, but then like I think he gets outed or something like that. So then the whole school knows. But yeah, it's a really good book from what I remember. Hard-hitting, contemporary, all that jazz. And yeah, I don't really remember much from it. I just remember like reading it, then watching the movie, and really enjoying them both. So I'm looking forward to this one. This one, I'm even less sure I remember what happened in this book. It says on the back, 17-year-old Molly Paskin-Suso knows all about unrequited love. She's lived through it 26 times. She crushes hard and crushes often, but always in secret. Because no matter how many times her twin sister Cassie tells her to woman up, Molly can't stomach the idea of rejection. So she's careful. Fat girls always have to be careful. Then a cute new girl enters Cassie's orbit, and for the first time ever, Molly's cynical twin is a lovesick mess. Meanwhile, Molly's totally not dying of loneliness, except for the part where she is. Luckily, Cassie's new girlfriend comes with a cute hipster boy sidekick. Will is funny and flirtatious, and just might be perfect crush material. Maybe more than crush material, and if Molly can win him over, she'll get her first kiss and she'll get her twin back. There's only one problem, Molly's coworker Reed. He's an awkward Tolkien superfan with a season pass to the Ren Fair, and there's absolutely no way Molly could fall for him, right? So, yeah, basically, it's about Molly and her unrequited love, how she always has crushes but never follows through with them, but her sister kind of is the opposite. Not that she doesn't have crushes, but like she follows through with them. And so then Molly's stuck between two boys, Will or Reed. And I kind of, like, reading through it, I kind of remember a little bit of what happened, but not enough to be like 100% on like all the details, you know what I mean? So I want to read both of these books because I want to read Leo on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli, which is also in the same universe. So I figured it wouldn't hurt to brush up on the universe and see what the other characters are up to. The next book I have is the beginning of all my series that I want to reread. So I have The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. If you don't know what this is about, then where have you been? Because The Hunger Games has been like everywhere for the past it came out in 2013 or something like that, I want to say. So like almost 10 years. Almost 10 years. That's crazy. But basically there's this place in North America, or like the ruins of North America. It's like the districts. There's 12 districts. There used to be 13, but there's 12 now, and then there's the capital. And so they have this thing called the Hunger Games, the annual Hunger Games, every year, obviously, because that's what annual means. And so you get one male tribute and one female tribute from each of the districts. So in this case, there will be 24 people competing to fight to the death, basically, and whoever wins gets like riches and like fame and glory, whatever. And so this woman, Katniss Everdeen, her sister gets drawn as the female tribute for her district, District 12. And so Katniss volunteers in place of her sister, and it's about her going through the Hunger Games. And this is a series, a 3-part series. So like I said, if you haven't heard of the Hunger Games, like, where have you been? It's very popular. So obviously Katniss lives because there's 3 books. But when I remember reading this when it came out and not knowing what was going to happen, I was like a sobbing mess. Like, oh my God, what is happening? I was shook. How old was I at that point? I was like 15 or something. If it was in 2013, I was 15. My high school mind was like shook as to what was happening. So yeah, I haven't read this since it came out, and I'm really excited to dive back into this world. I remember it being like one of the hit dystopian novels like back in the day. Like, it was better than Divergent, especially like when it came to the movie adaptations. The movies were better than the Divergent movies. So yeah, that's the first series I want to reread. So the next 2 series that I want to reread are series that I read when I was in like middle school. So when I was like probably 10 years ago, when I was like 11, which is like a long time ago. Well, even more than that, because if I was 11 when I read these, 11 or 12, yeah, like 10 or 11 years ago, which is craziness. But I have this book, Evermore, which is a part of the Immortal series by Alison Noel. To be honest, I don't remember much. I think this is about a girl who gets into a car accident with her family, and she's the only one who survives because this immortal man came and like saved her, and he's claiming that they are soulmates and this and that like he's been not hunting her, but like looking for her, because she keeps getting her soul keeps getting reincarnated, and he has to keep looking through the population, I guess, to find the same soul to be with them. So it's kind of like an immortal and a human that are like meant to be together, but like she, obviously her soul, she keeps dying, you know, but her soul lives on. So let's read the back and see how correct I was. After a horrible accident claims the lives of her family, 16-year-old Ever Bloom can see people's auras, hear their thoughts, and know someone's entire life by touching them. Okay, I forgot about that part. She has like supernatural powers after the accident. Going out of her way to avoid human contact and suppress her abilities, she has been branded a freak at her new high school, but everything changes when she meets Damon Auguste. It's August with an E at the end. So is it August? Auguste? Who knows? Damon is gorgeous, exotic, and wealthy. He's the only one who can silence the noise and random energy in her head, wielding a magic so intense it's as though he can peer straight into her soul. As Ever is drawn deeper into his enticing world of secrets and mystery, she's left with more questions than answers, and she has no idea just who he really is or what he is. The only thing she knows to be true is that she's falling deeply and helplessly in love with him. So I guess I kind of spoiled it because like I know what he is. He's an immortal, as the Immortals hint at, being like the name of the series. But this is like a 5-book series or something like that. And when I read it, I read the first like 3 books, and then I for some reason skipped over the 4th book and read the 5th book. So I kind of haven't completed this series. Yeah, so I want to reread this so I can actually like finish the series and know what was going on, because I remember I read the 5th book and I was like, wait, they went to Paris? What is going on? Where did they go? Like, I could be making all that up, but like I'm pretty sure they went to Paris. But anyways, that's side note. That's unimportant. But yeah, this is just revisiting my teen books, I guess, is what you could call this. But yeah, I'm excited to dive into this and see like what content my teen self was like really into and was like vibing with and like thought was like just the greatest book in the world. Like, I'm excited. The next book I have is a book that I remember I picked up from like my school had this like, you can drop off your old books and we will take them for you and like take them from you, and like people can come through and like buy them or something like that. I really don't know what it was. Almost like a book drive, but like where you donated the books and like people bought them. Anyways, so I got this from there, and all I remember is that this is about vampires. This is marked a House of Night novel. That's the series, I guess, the House of Night series, by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. So I remember when I read this, I caught up to the series to the point where I was just waiting for the new release to come out. So I think there's like 9 or 10 books in this series. So that's what I mean when I say I'm not going to be able to get to all of these books this year, because like there's like 10 books in this series. In this last book, there's like 5. Like, I can't read that many books, especially in a series. I have to like read one book and then read a different book not related to that series and then come back to the series. You know what I mean? Like I can't just binge a series. Like I'm not that kind of person. So anyways, this one is about vampires. It's about this girl who like, she has been marked as a fledgling vampire and joins the House of Night, a school where she will train to become an adult vampire. That is, if she makes it through the change. Not everyone who is marked makes it through the change. And so that's what it's about. It's about Zoe's life as a fledgling vampire, going to this school, going through the change, and like becoming an adult vampire. And that's what the whole series is about. But then there's like corruption and like all these things happening. So I obviously don't want to spoil it for y'all, because like this gets into it it gets into it pretty deep. But yeah, I'm excited to read this book again, and like I said with the last book, delve into the mind of like my 13-year-old self, because I read this again in like middle school. So I'm excited. This is the second to last series that I have, and this, I'm not even going to explain it to you, because if you don't know what the series is about, then like where have you been? I'm not going to explain it to you. It's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. This is obviously the Harry Potter series by... We shall not name her. She who shall not be named. Okay, we do not talk about her. We do not support her. I haven't bought anything Harry Potter related since all this stuff came out about her like years ago. And also this year / last year, was it? I don't know, time is fuzzy. But anyways, I have had the books since I was a kid. So I just have this series lying around. Obviously, I'm gonna reread them because this is like an amazing series. This will be like my third time rereading the series. To be honest, it took me a while before I actually finished the series the first time through, and then I read them a second time around when, you know how in the end of the Deathly Hallows, they're like 17 years later, the math added up to like 2019 or something like that. So that year, 2019, I reread all of them over the summer so that I could read the 17 years later part in September 2019. I think that's the right math. But yeah, so that was, I think it was 2017. It might have been even longer than that. It might have been 2017. So yeah, whenever that 17 years later happened, I read the books that summer before the September 17 years later. So yeah, I'm excited to reread this series. I love this series, and I know that it's going to be like an amazing experience. The last book I have for you is a part of a series, and it's going to be a reread because I've only read the first book of the series. There's like 4 issues out right now. It's Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. This is about Nick and Charlie, who kind of like fall in love in high school. They're like one of the only few gays in their school, and like it's all cute and whatever. Like I remember reading this last year and I was like, oh my god, my heart. I love them so much. So yeah, I am excited to get back into this. Like I said, I've only read the first volume, so it's going to be a reread for me just for the first volume, and then I'm gonna like get into volumes 2, 3, and 4. But yeah, I'm excited to read this book again. Alright guys, these are all the books / the book series that I want to reread. It's quite a lot, honestly. Also, don't mind my dog barking. She's freaking out for some reason. But yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 series, which is a lot of series that I want to reread. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna put these down now before I drop them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm excited to get into all these books. I definitely will try to tackle the standalone books this year, and at least one of the series. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm going to try and tackle at least one of the series this year. At least start it. That's my goal. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video if you enjoyed it. I always have my Goodreads, my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok linked in the description down below. Like, it's always there. So if you want to follow me and keep up to date with like what I'm reading, then I'd really suggest you follow my Goodreads and my Instagram. That's where I like update the most about what I'm reading. But yeah, if you have any video suggestions for me, leave them down below, but I'll see you in the next video. Bye.